want to talk, though, about Google and Facebook first, because we just noted that they've got this new campaign to fight what they see. This is the people who make it, right? What they see as the addictive nature of the technology that they are helping to create and develop. It warns that technology is currently hijacking our minds and society. That'd be like me going on the radio saying that radio is detrimental to your well-being and harmful to your children. You shouldn't listen to radio. It just seems to be counterintuitive, doesn't it? With his thoughts on this one is Professor of Cybersecurity at the Ulster University, Kevin Curran. Kevin, what a very strange announcement.
It is, but again, we are seeing, really the fabric of society being ripped apart in some ways. The fact is that it really has captured the attention of our teens, and younger people, anyone under. I mean, giving a tablet to a toddler is like giving them crack cocaine. It's so addictive. How does the real world compete with that? How does us trying to communicate with our children really compete with that? And our young people really are lost within phones. If you walk down the street or go into anywhere, you're going to see everyone's head buried in a phone, really. And it's just impossible, really, to compete against all that's on there and the social interactions that they have. So, again, to these guys who have been building technology behind Facebook and Google and really even the like button on these technologies, really, that they've seen the harm, that they project into their future, really, and that they just feel that they just should do something to protect the future.
To their detriment, Kevin. I mean, it's almost like, sweet drinks companies giving off about how harmful sugar is, cigarette manufacturers saying, oh, they'll give you cancer. I mean, it just seems to me, well, what can they do? Because, I mean, they've been so ridiculously successful, Google, Facebook and all the rest. Goodness me. What can they do that now that their world is, our world is their digital world? The one they created?
It is difficult. Now, again, these guys have left those companies. I mean, so then it's not as if they're in the company and trying to, they've just kind of given their thoughts on the thing and trying to come up with a solution with the website that they have. But of course, there is so many positive things about technology. Keeping in touch with people, getting their information from there. We don't have to. But it's just the fact is that there are so many negatives. Even if you were to ignore the cyberbullying and the pornography online and the fake news and other things, the fact is that really what you're finding is a whole generation are not really engaging with the world outside of social media, outside of the sites and the viral videos, really. And I guess all of us, even as parents, we have to ask ourselves, well, what can we do to try to minimize? Going back to really, do we minimize the time that our kids spend online? Really,
yeah, but Kevin, that's us. I mean, what can we do? What can you do as a parent? But what can Google do? What can Facebook do?
Well, I mean, they can be held more accountable, really, because, again, it's the attention economy which they've created, really, that they're trying to, again, if you think about it, Facebook is free, Twitter is free, all these apps, but really what it is we are the product that they're trying to make us stay online as much as possible. They're trying to keep us interested in the feeds so that they can sell more ads again. So, again, these guys are coming along saying that really that these companies should be held more accountable, and we as a society should be made more aware of the tricks that they use.
Yeah, but I don't know, Kevin. I just don't know how that's going to work for them. Because it's unless somebody else comes along. I mean, look, who could have? When you and I were young, it was pen pals and pen and paper. Then this magnificent email thing took over the world. Then Google comes along and Facebook and Twitter and all the rest. So, Kevin, do you? I mean, it stands to reason that there are going to be further such revolutions. The next one could be around the corner to Google and Facebook's loss.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. And again, even if, I know we're picking out those sites, which those guys have, because they're the major ones that they've, but if there wasn't a Facebook, it'll be to WhatsApp, it'll be to, Snapchat, it'll be, in other words, there's always another social network ready to come along and just there in the background. So it's just all the technology really is there. It's just that these are huge companies again, and Google are probably becoming one of the most powerful companies on the earth because of all the control that they have, the way into our sites, and they're taking away all the ad revenue which is being spent. So again, it's in their interest to keep us engaged, really. But it's just that we should be more informed about how they do that, and really, and educate our kids about that. In other words, just really, I don't have the answer. I know that I hardly ever see my kids now, and I'm thinking about it, even last night on the sofa, I realized that I really don't see them. And it's just because they're just engaged in the world, they're engaged in their gaming, they're engaged with their friends. The only time they see me is when they're hungry and they come down to tell me.
But Kevin, stop right there. You're a very intelligent chap. Your kids, clearly so. And what you're saying that the human element is suffering here, even with families like yours.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because they're introduced technology at such a young age, really, and sometimes we're just ahead of the curve in the general population. But it really is difficult for parents because we all get consumed in our own work and, and just keeping the house alive. And it's so much easier when your kids aren't bothering you. It's very hard for you to actually go upstairs there. But actually, will you stop doing that and come down and talk to me? Because we just get on with our own lives. And I know if I'm doing that as a family and I care about my family life, other families have to be in the same predicament as well. And fair play to those who really limit their kids' use of technology. In the ideal world, we'd only have our kids using it for education, for, YouTube videos when they're learning something. But of course, that really is difficult because what they do is they move on to the other stuff, which is really just entertainment, really. And it's very hard for us to keep an eye on that.
All right, Kevin, always good to pick your brain. So two of those who basically helped to create Google and Facebook have basically said, look, we understand that what we've created here is a globally addictive thing. And they talk about the hijacking of minds and society. And that, of course, that plays into the political plates of sort of plates, in terms of movement across the world and last election, or tectonic plates of politics. Yeah, interesting stuff. Just thought we'd pick Kevin's brain on that one. 71266 522 is the number of this particular programme.